out what's wrong?
Yeah, I think it's just a loose band belt. Here, son, grab a hold here and hold that real tight. Right there. There you go.
Is this gonna slow us down?
I'll know in a minute. Don't worry, Mama, we'll be there in time for the dedication.
You ever figured Grandpa Leo would have a park named after him?
No. My daddy was just an ordinary kind of guy who liked planting trees, that's all. He's probably somewhere right now scratching his head and wondering why everybody'd make such a big deal out of it.
All right, hold it. Here you go, fire it up, son. You can tell me.
Where are we exactly?
Well, I guess we're good for another few miles anyhow. Everybody all set?
We're just checking them out. It'll be fun to make a mark on our own hometown, don't you think?
Yeah. You looking for something in particular, honey?
I was just noticing Georgia's not that far out of the way.
Uh-huh. What'd you have in mind?
Nothing. All right, everybody. Back in the car.
I'll drive. Okay, gang. Next stop, Sugar Springs. Oh, Russell, look. You remember Norval Dry Goods? Now they're Styles by Norval. Oh, my.
Yeah. Gately Pipe Shop hadn't changed a bit, though. The old Herald building, that's still the same.
Ah! Look, they put up a banner. Oh, Claire, pull over.
Honey? Wake up. Mom says pull over.
You drive.
Hey, where you going?
Make a phone call. I'll meet you at the park.
What was that all about?
You tell me. She hasn't been the same since she got that letter from her old boyfriend.
What old boyfriend?
Hello?
Hello, Rod.
Oh, it's good to hear your voice.
Oh, I'm surprised you recognize it. The last time we spoke was...
When you called to offer condolences for Connie.
It's been birthday and Christmas cards since, 7 years.
It doesn't matter. There's nothing about you I'd ever forget. Especially your voice. I mean, you read Byron to me out loud until I wanted to throw both of you out of the hospital window.
And I thought you liked Byron.
I liked you. I needed you then. Claire, I need you now. Can you come?
This isn't a good time for me, Rod. Having a big family event and...
No, later doesn't work. I need you.
What's this all about?
My son, I can't talk about it right now. Claire, submarine. And you know what that means. Submarine.
Oh, look. Look at how those trees have grown. Oh. So 40 years ago, when Leo wanted to pretty up this big old vacant lot, I never would have believed it.
Hold it, folks. You can't park that thing there.
Well, that thing just happens to be our home.
Well, that's your problem, friend. It's an eyesore. I got important people coming to town.
Really? I'd like you to meet one of those important people right now. This is Hattie Green, the wife of the man this park's being named after.
How do you do?
How do you do, ma'am? Russell? Russell Green. You had a little more hair last time I saw you. You remember me? Kyle Purdy.
Oh, Kyle, how could I forget? You hadn't changed a bit.
How about your trailer? It's got to be a more convenient place for you to park it.
Oh, that's all right, Kyle. This suits us just fine.
Yes, trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
Well, good to see you again, Russell. Mrs. Green.
say you can't go home again.
How long before dinner?
Honey, you want a hand with that?
I'm fine, thanks.
Look, we found this clever little boutique.
Actually, a thrift store in the church basement.
All the latest styles.
Well, close.
And see, just the lining coming out. Easy to fix.
And look what Grandma helped me find. Straight out of the 70s. What do you think? Well, do you like it? Mama?
It's perfect.
Claire, you're not even here.
You notice that too, huh? Hey, what do you say we go for a walk?
I'll do the salad.
And you and I will finish unpacking the car.
What's up tomorrow?
Daniel, I need my money.
What money?
The money I loaned you to get Daddy's Father's Day present. I promised Grandma I'd pay her back.
Way to go. You just made me fall off the Empire State Building. Now I have to start all the way back at the cemetery.
Nathaniel, the money. What about it?
I'm sorry, don't have it. $10. Deal of a lifetime. I couldn't pass it up.
You made a promise and you're gonna break it?
Well, that's what kids are famous for. Sorry.
It's really lovely here, Russell.
You want to go higher, get a better view?
Have you swing me over the bar? No, thank you.
This, letter from Rod really got you in a tailspin, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I've hardly thought about him the last couple of years. One conversation and it all comes back. We planned a boat trip one spring day while we were still in college. It rained. So we spent the rest of the afternoon under the canoe, singing Yellow Submarine. My, we were young. Anyway, that same day we made a promise. If we ever needed each other, really needed each other, all we'd have to do is say the code word, submarine. It meant SOS, urgent, life or death, come as soon as you can. That's how I learned he had been wounded. He sent a buddy to USO headquarters in Saigon. I heard the word and I hitched a ride to the field hospital.
How about you? Did you ever use it?
Only once. Right after you proposed.
Scared you that bad, huh?
Yes, you did. He flew halfway across the country. We spent an hour sitting in a airport coffee shop. I did all the talking. And then he told me never to let you get away.
And today?
He said submarine. He wants me to go to Atlanta as soon as possible, something to do with his son.
Well, you told him no, didn't you? I mean, well, the dedication coming up and all. I mean, what kind of a guy would hold you to a promise you made 25 years ago? Claire, you can't do this to me. I've been looking forward to this for too long.
You know how much I want to be here.
Then we're agreed.
No, Russell, we're not. I'm sorry. This is Rod's telephone number and address. He'll know where I'm staying.
Listen, I gotta get this off my chest. I know that you made a promise and that you're gonna honor it. And I guess I wouldn't have it any other way, but that doesn't mean I'm happy about you leaving.
I want to be here more than anything.
Is he still in love with you?
You're jealous?
You blame me?
I married you. I love you. Trust me.
I do. Doesn't mean I trust him. Tell the man to work on his timing.
Oh, just in time for breakfast. Sit down.
Can't. I gotta work on my speech for the dedication. Editor over at the Herald said he's got some articles on Daddy that might help. Now, look, we didn't get all this fruit for it to sit here and rot. Let's start eating this stuff up, okay?
So who's this Rod guy, anyway?
Eat your oatmeal, Josh.
Well, he's just somebody your mom and you from college, just an old friend.
You mean an old boyfriend? Why'd you let her go?
Because she had a promise to keep.
What kind of promise?
Kind of promise that won't go away even if you think you've forgotten it. Even if it makes other people unhappy.
A promise is really that important?
To some people.
You know how close Claire was to Grandpa Leo. She would never have left if she hadn't thought it was important to keep her word.
Look, I want her here just as much as you do, but we're just going to have to make do until she gets back, okay? Okay? See you this afternoon.
Never again. I'm never going back there.
Everything's okay now. It's okay. You have to rest.
Sleep forever. Shut out that memory.
You can't do that. What would I do without you?
You can. Just like you said you would. I open my eyes, and there you are. Like an angel standing guard. Guardian angel. Promise me something, Claire.
What's that?
You promise me that you will keep this a secret. Promise me that no one will ever know what I've done. Promise me. Promise. Promise.
These may be of interest as well.
Not exactly big stories, are they?
I suppose not, but with Leo, they were always good stories.
We enter this sacred union with one purpose, one desire, pledging our faith and our trust.
Pledging our faith and our trust.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Green. Russell around?
Wait on. Went to the paper this morning. He's not back yet.
That bathroom's a little small for all of you, isn't it?
Well, if we tried to use it all at once, yes, but works fine when we take turns.
You know, it occurs to me you could park this trailer out behind the Mercantile. I just happen to own the building. Plenty of shade there, and you could use the facilities inside. Clean restrooms, plenty of water.
You know what I like best about our spot right here? The view. Anytime I want to, I can look out and see my husband's park. Can't get that behind the Mercantile.
Well, I understand that. Believe me, I do. But think about how it's going to look. I've got state officials coming on Saturday.
Kyle, face it. This is not about this trailer. It's about Russell. After all these years, it still bothers you that he always won. Track, football, president of the student body.
Well, he only won because he could throw a forward pass. And he only beat me by 6 votes.
A little late for a recount, isn't it?
Hello, Rod.
Claire. Thank God you came.
You frightened me on the phone. I wasn't sure what I'd find.
Hey, Dad. Oh, sorry. I gotta head back to the apartment. Yeah, I want you to meet somebody. Claire, this is my son, Paul. Claire and I go back a long ways.
What a nice surprise.
Glad to meet you. Sorry I can't stick around. I'm leaving tomorrow and I got a million things to take care of.
We're still out for dinner tomorrow, though, right? Absolutely.
You didn't tell me he was...
Vietnamese. Yeah, I adopted him when he was a year old. I love him so much. Got him out of Nam during the Saigon airlift.
But you never said a word. I mean, not in your letters, your phone calls.
He's one of the orphans from K Fong. So, what's he gonna do when he finds out that I firebombed his orphanage? That it was me who blew his village to kingdom come.
The address is CBS. Welcome home.
When I adopted Paul, I didn't think he had any other family. It turns out he had an older sister that survived the attack. And now Paul is going to Vietnam to meet her. He leaves tomorrow.
He must be thrilled.
Kidding? He's ecstatic. The sister he never knew existed. Says it'd give him a chance to learn about his biological past, to piece together a family history.
A history you don't want him to know.
How can I tell him? I mean, about that night, about...
It wasn't your fault.
We both know that's not true.
Did Connie know about K Fong?
No. Just you and me and a couple of bureaucrats at the Pentagon and any Vietnamese that survived that were old enough to remember.
Like his sister? You have to tell him before he leaves. Halfway around the world, surrounded by strangers. You can't let him find out there. Rod?
It's like I'm back in that field hospital and the life is bleeding out of me and I'm asking the surgeons to end it. It's all come back, the demons, the nightmares, and I cannot deal with it. I can't do this again.
It's going to be all right. I'm here.
Thank God for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for coming today to honor my father, Leo C. Green.
Speak up, Daddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for coming today to honor my father, Leo C. Green, with the dedication of this beautiful park.
Daddy, I think they know why they've come.
Well, it won't hurt to remind them. While you'll find I haven't had a lot of experience as a public speaker...
You don't have to apologize, Daddy.
Are you going to keep interrupting me? How much experience have you had making speeches?
Well, you wanted our opinion, right? I think you should start with a joke. Something they taught me in speech class I took once.
The lieutenant governor's going to be here tomorrow, and he's not coming to hear me tell jokes. All right? Oh, swell.
Pretty day, isn't it?
Hey, Kyle.
Someone saw you putting your wife on a bus. I hope that doesn't mean trouble.
What you got there?
I figured we could get some use out of your trailer. People are going to want something to eat and drink. Maybe your family can pick up a little extra money.
You remember that field trip we took to the Museum of Natural History in Raleigh back in high school? You remember all the lunches in the back of the bus somehow or another got soaked? And you conveniently had a couple of dozen boxes of cookies that you sold us for $1 apiece? No wonder you were elected most likely to succeed.
You just wait 1 minute. People in this town look up to me. I live in a house.
I still hear from Jamie Bacon every Christmas. Do you remember that old pickup of his?
He beat that thing half to death hauling us around in it. And he used to make up excuses for me to get in the back so that he could be alone with you.
No.
I remember Dad used to talk about you. I didn't know you guys were close.
Well, for a while, we were quite the couple.
Until she developed this crush on a rock and roll singer and followed him halfway across the country. That kind of killed the romance.
And you?
Oh. Let's just say I lost the lottery.
The draft lottery.
I sat by the radio listening to them reading off birth dates, hoping mine was going to be last. But, number 18.
Tough break. But where would I be if it had all happened, huh?
Oh, I don't know.
He's been, pretty sensitive. I'm going to Vietnam, meeting my sister. You are my dad, okay? Nothing's gonna change that. You took me away from a terrible place at a terrible time. Things are different now. I'm not going to a war. I'm going to a reunion. Be happy for me.
You don't understand a damn thing. See, they didn't send us over there to rescue children. They put guns in our hands and they turned us into killers.
Rod, this is not the way.
What are you talking about? What's going on?
I destroyed your orphanage. And most of your village, taking out a Viet Cong artillery position. They saw us. They knocked out the chopper. They picked you out of the rubble the next day. They said it was a miracle that you had survived. I came for you as soon as I got out of the hospital.
How could you keep that from me?
I'm sorry. I should have told you the truth. Maybe I tried to hide behind it, or maybe I thought that I could live with it. Or maybe I just hoped that you would never find out. I love you. I want to make it up to you.
Fine. And take it back. Tell me this is a horrible joke. Tell me my life hasn't been a big, huge lie.
Son.
You used me. You felt guilty for what you did, so you adopted me.
No, don't say that.
That's... Why not? It's time somebody told the truth. You killed my people. You stole me from my sister. I'm not your son. Not anymore.
Paul.
Paul!
You didn't mean it. You didn't mean it.
this tree. You marked our heights on this once, didn't you, Daddy? Mine and Joe's. Yeah. And then we watched this tree grow faster and further than either one of us. You even had a name for it. Elmo Elm Tree, that's it. And that one's Ethel. Matter of fact, you named just about every one of them just like they were family. Oh, Daddy, there's so many things I wish I could tell you. So many things I want to ask you. Claire and I, we've grown roots just like these two trees. Growing separate, but kind of intertwined. And I never thought anything could threaten that, but tonight. Claire's never given me any reason not to trust her. So what is this heaviness I'm feeling? Just like something real big was sitting right on my chest. And lots of times I wanted to talk to you, Daddy, but never more than right now.
I'm here for you, son.
Hey, Daddy. Hey, you know what? They're naming this place after you. They'll turn this into a park.
Ain't no need for that. These trees gave me a lot more than I ever gave them.
Daddy, let me ask you something. I know you and Mama had some pretty rough times, but, did you ever... I mean, was there ever...
You mean, did I ever not trust her?
What are you going to put it that way?
I don't think you had any idea how you were going to put it. Marriage is an act of faith. The holiest of all promises, and you have got to believe in one another. And if one of you starts to doubt, well, it's kind of like letting the weed take hold. After you've worked hard planting and nurturing something beautiful, the last thing you want is weeds choking it out.
Russell, you out there?
Over here, Mama. I just, came out to enjoy the night.
It's wonderful, isn't it? The stars twinkling through the branches of all these trees your father planted. It's easy to feel he's here, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Sure is.
You're worried about Claire.
Just from the moment she left.
It's not good for you two to be apart. I think you should go after her. Of course, I want you here for the big day. But something tells me Claire needs you there. It's a big difference. This park will be here for us to enjoy whenever we like, whether or not you're here for the ceremony.
Mama,
And I think your father would want it too.
Hi, this is Paul. Sorry I'm not here to take your call, but if you leave your name and phone number, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.
Guess I should have called first, but I left in the middle of the night, and I just had to come, Claire.
I'm so glad you're here.
I missed you something awful. And Mama was worried about you.
Come on in. I want you to meet Rod. Rod, I want you to meet my husband, Russell.
Well, I hope you're planning to shoot me.
I have a reason to.
I ruined your celebration, put Claire through hell. It's a bad night. Major flashbacks. Sorry you had to be there.
Well, she's pulled me through a few of those, too.
Any calls at all?
No. Paul still isn't answering his phone. I think I should go over there and try to talk to him. Russell, would you mind staying here?
Who's Paul?
He's my son. Or he was, till last night.
How much for lemonade?
50 cents.
I'd buy some, but I'm broke, remember?
For you, it's free.
Nice try, Nathaniel, but that wasn't the deal.
What do you think I'm doing all this for? I've only got $4, but maybe it's enough to start paying Grandma back. And I'll give you what I owe you later. I promise.
You promise? After last time, why should I believe you?
'Cause I really mean it.
I'll be back for the rest later.
Wait. On the house.
Yeah, we'd like 2 glasses, please.
Paul, it's Claire Green. Please open the door.
Sorry I'm not in the mood to chat, Mrs. Green.
I don't blame you. But this isn't going to go away. May I come in?
Offer you a cup of coffee. I'm not staying that long.
What are you going to tell your sister? That your father made a mistake? That he's paid for every day since? Or that he brought you back here and raised you as his very own?
It's my sister that paid for the mistake. Permanent scars, years of her life.
He was a soldier, Paul. He did what soldiers do until he couldn't anymore.
Well, don't expect me to feel sorry for him. Guilt was the reason he adopted me. Payback, baby. That's all I am.
Guilt doesn't raise a child. Love does. And I know you know the difference. You can't take away the times he read to you. Taught you how to ride a bike. Took you fishing.
Should have been more honest with me.
Well, when was the right time to tell you? When you were 6? Or when you were 12? When you were accepted to Yale or when you graduated with honors?
He only told me now because he was afraid I'd find out anyway.
No. He was afraid he was going to lose you. That's what he's always been afraid of. He's carried this guilt for 30 years. And there was a time when he didn't know if he could live with it for 20 minutes. I know because I sat by his bedside begging him not to give up. Begging him to fight for his own life. The way I am begging you now. Please do not add another mistake to the ones that have already been made. Did you love him yesterday?
Yes.
Then you love him today. He's your father, Paul. He deserves your compassion.
It's a beautiful place you got here.
That's Connie's doing. Flowers everywhere in the spring. Paul and I used to play ball here and trample them down. She'd get mad.
Sorry your boy took the truth so hard.
I guess it was long overdue. Paul grew up playing in these woods. That's where he learned his love of nature. Yeah, he's going to get his PhD in botany when he comes back. If he comes back.
It's real peaceful. Over at Nam, you never knew what was waiting for you out in the woods. It was years after the war before I could walk past a stand of trees without, checking them out, looking over my shoulder.
You were Navy, right?
SEAL teams. How about you, infantry?
Aircraft. Huey gunships.
You boys saved a lot of bacon.
Yeah, we saved bacon. I've been hearing their screams every night for the last 30 years. There was a unit pinned down outside of K-Fong. We were called in to lay down cover. Charlie had set up an artillery unit near an orphanage so that if I fired, the kids would get killed.
And if you don't fire?
Our guys got killed. I fired. Took out the orphanage, most of the village. I killed a couple of dozen children.
You did the only thing you could.
Doesn't stop the regret.
No. I have a brother who went over there, too. He hadn't been the same since. He let the regret snowball so much out of proportion that that's all he has left. I think that ever since the first caveman picked up a stick to protect his cave, war has been like this. I don't like it. You don't like it. And thank God we don't, because you know what that means? It means we're decent men. Well, you boy's a man now. And it's time you stop trying to protect him. He is old enough to hear all of it. And to share your pain. More important, he's old enough to forgive. And you're old enough to forgive yourself. It's time.
Paul? Is that offer of a ride to the airport still good?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
We'll work it out, Dad.
I love you, son.
And so, on behalf of the governor and myself and our administration, we thank you, good people of Sugar Springs, for allowing us to join with you today in our continuing effort to beautify our great state.
I want to thank the Lieutenant Governor for those kind words. Now, before we unveil the monument, we'd like to hear from a member of Leo Green's own family, his wife, Mrs. Hattie Green.
Actually, I would like it very much if Leo's grandson would do the honors. Josh? Come on, you can do it.
Well, my Grandpa Leo always loved spontaneity, and I guess my grandma does, too. My Grandpa Leo traveled all over the world when he was younger. Before there were jets and all that stuff, he'd work on ships, ride trains, whatever he could, just so he could see how other people lived. And maybe we inherited some of that curiosity gene from Grandpa Leo. See, we live in a trailer that's only 30 feet long and barely wide enough to fit over the wheels, but we can take it just about anywhere. And we've seen lots of beautiful country and met a lot of interesting people. But just like Grandpa, we always come back here to Sugar Springs. I mean, this is home. And this park, this park, it's Grandpa. And I know someday when I have kids, I want to bring them here. We could sit underneath the shade of one of these trees and they'll get a chance to know Grandpa too. So, thanks for the park.
Now for the unveiling. I'd like to ask all the members of the Green family to gather around the monument. Russell, Mrs. Green, would you do the honors?
I'm so glad you made it. I only wish your father had been here, too.
Oh, Mama. I'm pretty sure